In the year 1513, an Ottoman admiral created a map that still puzzles historians today. Some people believe it may even show Antarctica, more than 300 years before the continent was officially discovered. How could someone in the 16th century possibly know what the southernmost continent looked like? This is the story of one of the most mysterious maps in history. Piri Reis was an Ottoman admiral, navigator, and cartographer. He was born around 1470 and spent much of his life sailing across the Mediterranean Sea. During this time, the world was entering the age of exploration. European explorers were discovering new lands and sea routes. Famous explorers such as Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama were changing the way people understood the world. Piri Reis became fascinated with geography and navigation. Over time, he began collecting maps and navigational charts from different sailors and explorers. These documents would eventually help him create one of the most intriguing maps ever drawn. In 1513, Piri Reis created a world map drawn on gazelle skin. The surviving portion of the map shows the western coasts of Europe and Africa, the Atlantic Ocean, and large parts of South America. What surprised historians the most was the level of detail. For a map created in the early 16th century, it was incredibly accurate. Even more interesting are the notes written on the map itself. In these notes, Piri Reis explained that he used around 20 different maps and charts to create his work. Some of these sources were Portuguese maps, while others were believed to come from earlier explorers, possibly even maps associated with Christopher Columbus. For centuries, the map remained largely forgotten. It was not until 1929 that it was rediscovered in the archives of Topkapi Palace. Historians studying the map were immediately fascinated by its accuracy and historical value. The discovery quickly attracted attention from scholars and cartographers around the world. The real mystery began when some researchers noticed something unusual. A section of the southern part of the map seemed to resemble the coastline of Antarctica. This raised an obvious question. Antarctica was not officially discovered until 1820, more than 300 years after the map was created. So how could a map from 1513 show something that wasn't discovered until centuries later? This observation sparked decades of debate and speculation. Over the years, several theories have been proposed to explain the mystery. Ancient source maps. Some researchers believe that Piri Reis may have used much older maps that have since been lost to history. Misinterpretation. Most historians believe the explanation is simpler. They argue that the supposed Antarctica is actually a distorted representation of the southern coast of South America. Cartography at the time was still developing, and distortions were common. Alternative theories, more speculative theories, suggest that the map may contain knowledge from unknown or ancient civilizations. However, there is no scientific evidence to support these claims. Regardless of the mystery surrounding Antarctica, the map of Piri Reis remains extremely important. It provides valuable insight into the exchange of geographic knowledge during the age of exploration. The map shows that information about newly discovered lands was spreading quickly between cultures and civilizations. It also highlights the remarkable skills of early cartographers. Despite limited technology, they were able to create surprisingly accurate representations of the world. Today, the map created by Piri Reis remains one of the most fascinating artifacts in the history of cartography. Whether the Antarctica mystery is real or simply a misunderstanding, the map continues to capture the imagination of historians and explorers alike. One thing is certain. 500 years ago, people already had a far more complex understanding of the world than we often assume, and some mysteries of the past may still be waiting to be discovered.